So Arsenal have reportedly signed a player. Their fans have been crying out for transfers in January, but it's not an attacker. It's not someone to come in the January window. It's Zubimendi to come in the summer. And this is being reported by Sami Mokba, who is quite a credible source of information when it comes to Arsenal news. Now, Zubimendi, in my opinion, is an unbelievable player, an incredible signing for Arsenal. If you're moving on Jorginho and Partey in this summer, it makes absolute sense to bring Zubimendi in. But surely they're going to look at attacking reinforcement in January. They're planning ahead, smart move, but surely they're going to look. But first of all, let's talk about the Zubimendi news and what's actually been reported, because Liverpool tried to sign this guy in the summer and he would not leave Real Sociedad. What's changed? Now, from what I'm sensing from what I've read, is that Arsenal spoken to Zubimendi, he will say yes, so they will trigger his 51 million release clause and get the deal done. Whereas Liverpool, they were willing to trigger Zubimendi's release clause, but he just didn't move in the end. He wanted to stay at Sociedad. We'll dive into that, but this was the breaking story from Sami Mokba that Arsenal are set to land Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi at the end of the season, and he provided a few more details. Arsenal will land long-term target Martin Zubimendi at the end of the season. Mail Sport can reveal. Talks over the summer move are now at an advanced stage, with sources indicating apparently the deal is virtually complete. Zubimendi is understood to have a 51 million release clause, which Arsenal will formally trigger. Arsenal would like Zubimendi to join immediately, but Real Sociedad have insisted that the player stays to the end of the season. So it's essentially being reported that this deal is going to be complete. He's going to join at the end of the season. Now, in my opinion, first of all, Zubimendi, fantastic signing. If they could bring Zubimendi and Naipan in, or another maybe young, more attacking-minded midfielder to replace Jorginho and Partey, that's exactly what they need. It's a fantastic signing. But if you're looking at January window, I think I look at Arsenal and think you need a striker or at least a winger to come in now. Obviously, they can go and sign a big striker in the summer. There's going to be more strikers available in the summer. But I look at Liverpool being linked to Kvaratskhelia and Arsenal being linked to Zubimendi. And I think, Liverpool could do with Zubimendi a little bit more now. And Arsenal could do with Kvaratskhelia a little bit more now. But obviously, Zubimendi is not going to be available to the summer anyway. But I have to say, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would not be happy seeing that news, because he's the guy that Liverpool wanted. He's one of the best young DMs out there. And it looks like he's set to join Arsenal now, but not until the summer. Does that mean Declan Rice will be a number 8? That's the big question. I've always thought Declan Rice is better as a 6. Does that mean that Declan Rice is going to be a number 8? So my general thoughts is top player, top signing, but he's not a striker. He's Real Sociedad's best midfielder. I'm surprised that you went for Mourinho over him, but maybe Mikel Arteta saw Mourinho as a box-crashing Gundogan type player. But top player, top midfielder, but he's not a striker. Arsenal need attackers, and Arsenal need an attacker now. But you can't fault the signing. You can't fault the signing. This is Arsenal planning ahead. This is Arsenal planning ahead of next season. Maybe showing they've got some backing of Arteta, because there's rumours of Arteta. Fans starting to get a bit of pressure on. Jorginho, Partey gone. They're also linked to Naipan. So if they bring in Naipan and Zubimendi to replace Jorginho and Partey, I think that's quite smart business. And then, potentially, with the Zubimendi deal being done, they can actually focus the summer window on getting a proper left winger in and a proper striker in. I still think they need to bring in an attacking reinforcement now, but that would potentially put them in that position. There's links of Arsenal going back in for Sesko. That could potentially be one to watch. But I do think it's good they're thinking ahead in terms of replacing Jorginho and Partey. But they just need someone, I think, to score goals now. Look at City looking to sign Marmoush, but you can't fault the signing. So I'm actually going to talk about Zubimendi and why I think this is a really good signing for Arsenal, but also Liverpool. What are Liverpool doing? Because they have the money there and they're looking at Kvaratskhelia, but Liverpool need to spend money on a midfielder more than they need to do for a winger. And everything I'm going to read out now is notes I made in the summer about Zubimendi when it looked like he was destined to join Liverpool. So these are all notes from back in August. But DM centre mid, 5'11", 25 years of age, could be 26 now, I haven't actually checked that, won the Euros. This is all notes from the back end of August on Zubimendi. Apart from this, because this is updated stats from this season, where he is against other La Liga midfielders his age or younger. He is 25. Aerial duels second, possession adjusted interception second, defensive duels fourth, block shots fourth, interceptions fifth, passing to final third sixth, forward passes seventh, successful defensive action seventh, progressive passes eighth, key passes eighth. You can see that he's a very good player in terms of winning back the ball, defensively good DM, but also very good on the ball. You know, he is one of those DMs that is good on the ball, good at breaking the lines, but good at progressing play. You know, some Manchester United fans were sceptical when we signed a guy because he's a monster off the ball, but he just lacks a little bit on the ball in terms of breaking play. I love a guy. I'm very happy with him. But there was a lot of Man United fans at the time who said we should go for Zubimendi because of what he can do on the ball. Still is another one that a lot of people like because of what he does on the ball. And I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool moved for Stiller now. But I think Zubimendi, you know, it is an unbelievable signing. And since the beginning of the 22-23 season, Martin Zubimendi has won possession in the midfield third at least 29 more times than any other player in their Liga. One of the best ball winners. But it's what he does on the ball, which I think is why Arteta likes him. Now, Arsenal are very good on the ball. Arsenal are very good in possession. Arsenal, every phase of Arsenal's play is really good until they get into the final third. So Zubimendi is just going to further improve that. He's going to be that Rodri-esque player. So maybe Rice is going to go to left centre mid potentially. Who knows? They just lack the goals, but we're not here to talk about that. I think everybody knows that. We're here to talk about Zubimendi and what he could bring to Arsenal. So passing, very good. Short, medium range passes, very good at getting the tempo ticking, very good at getting play ticking, but is also very good at winning the duels, very good defensively. Now, I think it will say things like exactly what Slot wants, because this is from when he was set to go to Liverpool. So do bear in mind these are because this news is just broke. I can do a more detailed analysis if you want. So this is partly in relation to Liverpool, but again, very good on the ball, very comfortable on the ball, very press resistant, can have the ball, can have a few players around him, very composed under pressure, which obviously was what Arne Slot wanted, which is why he's gone with Gravenberch over Endo, and of course Mikel Arteta wants it. And any modern manager in football really likes a DM that is good under pressure, that can turn and play out. Football IQ at the top. I think if you've watched Zubimendi play, you know he's one of the cleverest players in terms of tempo, ticking. Real Sociedad had a very clever team. Clearly, Arteta wants to rebuild it. You've got Isak, Odegaard, Mourinho, Zubimendi. Clearly, Arteta's looking to rebuild that. But yeah, he's very good because not just on the ball, but on when he plays his passes and knows when to play his passes, but he reads the game well. As I said, he's won back possession more times than anybody else in La Liga. Really good injury record, reads the game well, reads opponents well. I think in terms of his anticipation and positional awareness, he's really good. And considering that Arsenal last season, not so much this season, but last season had the best rest defence in the Premier League, were very hard to break out because Saliba and Gabriel got so much protection from the midfield because of Rice. Having him and Rice as a midfield pairing is a really strong thing to have. And he delivers top performances game after game. He went in for Rodri in the Euros final. He didn't notice a different, very highly skilled player, very good in tight spaces, very technically good, very good at building up from deeper areas, regulating the deeper areas. But look, he can initiate attacks. He's not going to be a big creator, but his passing, he plays the ball quickly, he breaks lines. He's going to help Arsenal get up the pitch, potentially a little bit quicker in terms of progression. And just, if you're playing the ball a little bit quicker, you're more likely to find spaces further up the pitch. Positionally, as I said, very good, can anticipate play, but also on the ball, half-turn, receive the ball under pressure, which is what you want in a midfielder. He's got what you want off the ball in terms of reading and understanding of the game, but on the ball, he can touch the ball, he can play the half-turns, he can play the line-splitting passes, He's one of those players that would be a very, very good signing for Arsenal, would have been a very, very good signing for Liverpool, because when I look at what you need in a Premier League midfielder, they need the technical qualities, they need the physical qualities, they need the work rate, the injury record, the mindset, and I think he's got all of those. Technical qualities, got it. Breaking play, receiving under pressure, press resistant, turning, breaking the lines. He can do that. Good on the ball, good passer, good technically good. But physically, he can cover ground. He covers a lot of ground. He can win his duels. He can win the ball back. IQ, reading back the game. Mentality, obviously works hard. Good player. So he's got all of that, plus the injury record, which I think is everything you want in a midfielder, Shields the back line, wins tackles, can read the game well, is known for just being a pretty good dictator on the ball, but I think off the ball, again, very solid. I mean, these were some of his statistics, again, from last season. As you can see, pretty solid statistics, but I don't want to get in too much detail because obviously a lot of these were from my notes back in August, but I hope it kind of clears up what kind of player Zubimendi is. In terms of his best role, it's a deep lying 6. I think Rice would be a number 8. For me, his best role was a 6. Very calm under pressure. He's going to offer the stability. He's going to offer guidance. He's a deep lying playmaker. I think he would be best as a 6. For me, him and Rice, because Rice can cover ground, is a decent pairing. There is questions. I think that Rice could be better as a 6 than an 8, you know, in terms of the left centre mid for Arsenal. Obviously, Mourinho's worked with him well. But again, decent athlete. But I think if you put him with a good chance creator and a good ground coverer, which you've got in Rice and you've got in Odegaard to an extent, I think he can work quite well. I think he worked really well in the midfield. He obviously works with Mourinho, and I think it would be a great signing. We'll see if any other updates come out on this from maybe David Ornstein or Fabrizio Romano, but I do know that Sami Mokbel is one of the best sources of information as well. It's just come out from David Ornstein as we speak. Let me just share my screen before I end the video. Sami Mokbel is quite a good source of information when it comes to Arsenal news. But yeah, this has just come out now on Twitter by David Ornstein that Arsenal are pursuing a deal to sign Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Arsenal working on landing the 25-year-old midfielder next summer for a considerable period. Blah, 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 blah. So again, David Ornstein has confirmed they're working on this deal, and Sami Mokbel claims it's set to be completed. So let's keep an eye on it. Thank you for watching. Bye.